I made a video earlier about the importance of critical thinking, and a lot of us don't spend time thinking about thinking, right? We just do what we do. We listen to arguments that support what we do, and usually it's hard to see outside of the box that we are so used to. That's why it's really good to read. You guys got to read lots of books, different views, views that contradict your view, and see how the other side is thinking and see if their presuppositions are presuppositions that we should all think is true. And so I was not raised thinking about thinking. Usually whatever I thought about something or an idea, I would see how I felt about it and see what others felt about it. But when it comes to philosophy, thinking is a lot harder than that. We have to ignore our feelings and try to think of things and think of ideas and see how the outcomes are, not just for the present, but for the long term. And usually when you start thinking that way, your actions start to be a little different than they usually are, because now you're thinking not about just today, but you're thinking about the consequences from now on of those certain actions, those habits, those thoughts, those feelings. And now you could judge your feelings. You don't let your feelings judge your thoughts. And so I think it's really important that we should all get used to critical thinking, reading books that we're not comfortable with, listening to debates on subjects that are, especially when it comes to politics, religious views, theology, the marriage life, everything that you could think of, you should study that. If you have a passion for a specific topic, make sure you're listening to all the other side's views before you jump on one view and start fighting back, at least with your voice or with your books, writings, or whatever. So I think it's really important that we should all think like that. We should think and keep our thoughts grounded in reality. Don't try to make your feelings above everything else. Now, of course, when you got the right theory, your feelings are going to start corresponding to the way you think. And so if you think something is wrong, you're going to feel that it's wrong too. But let's say your whole outlook is completely opposite of reality. How are we going to judge that? Well, you're going to have to hear somebody else's viewpoint. And you can't be offended. You might be offended at first, but then you got to hear the arguments played out. And that's the only way that we're going to get anywhere in this society, where people are offended by everything. People don't want to talk about things that are important, like God, about the future, about politics, about the way we raise our families, how we educate our children. I think it's really important that we get to comfortable talking about this with our loved ones. Why? Because if we don't, then we're all going to be banned, censored, etc. Because whoever is in power has the power to do things that one side is not going to like. I think if we just fight for the freedom of ideas and discourse, where we could talk and debate about ideas, not name call, not make everything that you disagree with hate speech or whatever. I think we have to just be freely talk about things and try to get to the bottom of it. And if we don't agree, we can walk away and tolerate each other in a spirit of meekness, humbleness, and love. I think that is the view of the Christian tradition. I think that should be the view of every society.